Welcome, everyone. Today I'm here with Lisa Kryml, the co-owner and founder of SendIt Academy. Lisa, it's great to have you here today.
Thank you so much for having me. I love doing these kind of things.
So, Lisa, how did this whole SendIt Academy come into being since it's your baby, your brainchild?
Let me tell you a little story and I'll try to keep it brief. I had been an Amazon seller since 2013. And before that, I was an internet marketer and I was in real estate. And so kind of always had my fingers in different pots. So I went into Amazon selling, had a very successful career. And in January of 2022, I decided I needed a break from there. They were kind of bumping heads with Amazon a little bit, and I didn't want to lose my account because with Amazon, you can only have one selling account ever. And so I decided to take a break from there and decided I was going to go back to mortgage. And I went back to talk to some of my friends in the mortgage industry, and they're like, hey, not a good time to get back into mortgage. People's credit took a shot with COVID, and I don't think that, this is probably a good time, Lisa, and you're such a good salesperson, you might want to look somewhere else. Well, of course, the bells went off. I was like, credit. Okay, so
Yeah.
took some classes, got myself two amazing mentors, and I opened a credit repair company in the spring of 2022. And at the time, I had gone back and visited some family, and my cousin's like, hey, I hear you're not doing Amazon anymore. What are you doing for money? And so I told her I'm getting my credit repair up. It's coming in slow. And she's like, well, what happens if I could show you how to write letters to casinos? And I was like, okay, you have my attention. She's like, you get $5 per letter. And I'm like, okay, tell me more. So she kind of was the one that kind of gave me the direction on where to find all the information to be able to do it. And so I started doing it in May of 2022. And it started off slow, started off with 50, then 100, then 200. But more importantly, during that year, I decided I hate to lose. And I really do hate to lose. I have three brothers, a sister, and four sons. So mama hates to lose. And so I'm also a math person. Being in the mortgage industry, I'm very math oriented. And so I started playing around with like different equations and different theories that I had on how to make it so that the $5 they gave me, we do have to play it through once. And so I was playing with all the different numbers on like, how can I better my odds, of doing that? And so I kept tinkering with it and I was bouncing around, and then, I was taking notes on my conversions, and then it just clicked. Like I was doing it in different numbers to see if I could get similar results at like higher amounts or lower amounts, or higher volatility, lower volatility, using boost mode, not using boost mode. And and that year, I I just kept rolling. I was doing my credit repair, I was doing my letter writing, and I was converting it over 100%. I was actually converting it about 120% that first year. Made about $30,000 in those 6 months that I was writing. So I made some really good money in that time period. But I decided to up my game in January of 2023. And I made a promise to myself, a commitment to myself. I was going to write 300 letters a week. It's basically 60 letters a day, 5 days a week. And I was at my desk anyways, all day long, just waiting for my phone to ring from real estate agents and car dealerships that were sending me people to clean up their credit so they could have their business. And a lot of times the agents and stuff would basically cover that. If they did a loan with them in the back, they would actually, be credit repair as one of the lines on their loan. And so they kind of got it back but they got the business, right? That was kind of incentive to get the business. And so I did all of that, and I did my letters. I did at 300 letters every single week of that year. And I made a little over $78,000 in that year. And it was awesome. But in November of that year, I went to my nephew's wedding, and my sister was like, "Hey, my daughter wants to move out in the spring and she needs to make money." I said, well, why don't we get her writing letters? You write letters. I've taught a couple other people. Let's teach her how to do it. And so I taught her how to do it while I was there. I kind of wrote everything down, gave her templates, because I actually made the card and the envelope for her, and just to basically just duplicate that and mail it in. And then I'll teach you how to convert when you start getting your drops. Well, I came home from that vacation and it was like I was sitting at the table and a light bulb just went off. If I could teach my niece, I can teach my sister, I can teach other people that are friends of mine, why can't I teach other people? This was one of the biggest reasons why I got out of internet marketing in 2013 is I was just disheartened by the lack of duplication, right? Too
Yeah.
many people failed. I didn't sleep at night knowing that, the money that people were paying me for different programs, even though I gave them all the tools, I offered them training. I carried 3 trainings a week for people to come on there and show them different like things to be able to be successful. Sales is really hard to teach. You either have it or you don't.
Yeah.
And so I was like, this is a no-brainer because people don't have to go out and recruit unless they want to. And that was the second piece of the puzzle I hadn't figured out yet. I was like, okay, at this point, I'm just going to sell the program, teach people how to do it. And that's when I sat down, wrote paid per letter, got my sisters to record the videos because she's a model. She's actually done commercials and stuff. And I'm like, here, you do this part of it and I'll write it all. I'll give you the scripts on what to say and you just do it. And she was like, okay, I can do that. And so a couple weeks later, it was all ready to go. And Dustin and I had known him for a while through other ventures and stuff. And he had put a post up about some software that he had. So I called him up and I'm like, hey, what's the software? And he's like, why? What are you doing? And so I told him what I was doing. He's like, oh my gosh, do you know what you have here? And I'm like, yeah, actually, I do. This is like the first time that everyone can win. All they have to do is write exactly what I tell them to do, and everyone can win. They don't have to go out and sell. They don't have to go out and promote. They don't have to go out and talk about it. They can do this anywhere, anytime, and it's just the perfect thing. And he's like, it is, Lisa. Do you want to partner with this? We could share this, have people go out and share it with other people and get the marketing end of it. And I was like, well, I was gonna do that after, I got this rolling. And he's all, no, do it now. Let's be partners. And I was like, okay, let's do it. So we did. We launched it. We actually got everything set up in December of 2023, fully launched at the very beginning of January. And it has just been a ball rolling down the hill. And it has just been incredible to see. I get personal messages and I get people that reach out to me all the time. And I see all the messages and paid per letter in our Facebook group on how life-changing this has been for people. I've seen people
Yeah.
buy cars and pay off credit and have a savings for the first time in their lives. They're like, this is the first time ever that I've actually made money with a program that I bought online, and I now have a savings, and you don't know how good that feels to be able to take my kids out to dinner and not have to worry about what the bill's going to be. So, I mean, it's just the best feeling in the world, Gloria. It really is the best feeling in the world.
To admit to you that I made a massive mistake because somebody told me about paid per letter a year ago, just when you launched, and I just poo-pooed it. And now that I have the full story and I understand it, it was like, oh, Gloria, what, like, you blew it a year ago. You blew it. I mean, it's never too late, right? It's just,
No.
and that's the thing about this. It's never too late. It's not like, you're selling CBD oil and you're the first on the market with CBD oil, and all of a sudden now you can find it everywhere on Amazon and wherever. But this is totally different. It's like, it's not too late, so the timing is perfect for whenever anybody's in it. But I can shoot myself now because what I love about it, I mean, my experience has been exactly the same as yours, Lisa. I have been in this marketing industry for over 45 years, and I have seen so many people try so hard to recruit people, to sell stuff, and they just can't do it. As you said, it's not duplicatable. It really, truly is tough to duplicate, but this anybody can do. And I love talking to all the people and seeing all the people that for the first time, as you said, for the first time in their lives, they're making money doing something. And so I am thrilled finally to have gotten the full story, and be with you guys. And I am all in with this because I love the fact that whoever I introduce this to, if they actually write the letters, they can get paid. They can earn the $5 per letter in sweeps coins, and they can convert it. So thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart.
What
Now, I
I
know
love
you've got, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say what I love is people pick how much they want to make. They decide, not an employer, not somebody else. They decide whether they just need enough to pay their car payment this month, or their mortgage this month, or they want to just sock money away into their savings. They choose what they want to make. And I love that about this.
Can work when they want, they can choose how much, how little, whether they want to do it in the middle of the night, whether they want to do it early in the morning, whether they want to sit down and do it while they're watching TV, they get to decide, right? Totally up to them. So I love that. Now I know you've got all kinds of other exciting things going on in SendIt Academy. So tell us about some of the other things, because Paid Per Letter is the program that most people are aware of, but you've got lots of other stuff. So tell us about that.
We do. We have a lot of free stuff in there. We have just a couple other paid programs, but we have a lot of free stuff in there. We teach you how to sell on Amazon. We teach you how to be an Amazon influencer. We teach you how to be an Amazon affiliate in the program that's called All Things Amazon. We also teach KDP publishing. We have so many people in our community that are starting to publish books and cookbooks and composition books and daily planners, and they're making money. They're selling. We had one of our members whose little girl is sick, and her little girl used the program that we have in our back office for free and created a children's book about hope and never letting go, never giving up. And she published it, and it is going to end up skyrocketing because our community is supporting this little girl, and went in and bought a bunch of them, which bumped her on the Amazon list to the front page of the children's book. So more and more people are going to buy it. And I mean, it was written and designed by a child, a 13-year-old little girl who utilized our program to do it. So that's pretty exciting. We also have credit repair. We're going to teach people how to actually repair their own credit for included in your setup fee. Once you come into SendIt Academy, you now get all of these programs. You can go out and market any of these programs to bring people into SendIt Academy. They're going to get access to all of them. And then on top of that, we have a lot coming in the next few weeks. We have a sell on Etsy, a sell on Pinterest, a sell on TikTok, how to do TikTok shop. People are been begging me for that one. So I got myself a teacher that's going to come in and teach it. We've got print on demand. We're going to teach people how to do print on demand. Most of this stuff is you make money before you ever spend money, because you basically put the stuff up for sale, the people pay you, and then you go and buy the item and send it to them. So, or you created it and it just kind of goes through the system, and then they take out their part of the commission. I mean, it's just crazy. And then on top of that, we have other programs coming that are going to teach you a lot of other stuff. So how to flip websites, how to flip real estate. I am working on touching bases with so many different people that I know that do different things. I'm like, hey, can you teach this class? If I build out a program, and that is my groove, I love being the creator. If I can build out a program, can you come in and teach what this is all about? And they're like, yeah, they're all jumping on board. Teach an hour class a week, get paid to do it, and potentially have some business coming your way as well. People aren't telling me no. Everyone's super excited. And the best part about all of this is it's all going to be included. Nothing is going to be additional. There's only 2 programs that are additional in there because they are white labeled, and we can't get around that. So we do have to actually charge them, because we have to pay half of the setup fee to the actual white label company. But the rest of it, everything and anything I can continue to find, I'm just going to keep throwing things in there. I have another person I'm working with who is going to be creating a bunch of training. So teaching people how to do different marketing if they want to actually be a promoter and go out and market. They're going to actually teach some of this stuff through video tutorial and through written word. And so not only that, by written word, I want to just say to anybody that's watching this, I am a Christian. I love the Lord. I love the Lord. And we offer a free Bible study where 2 of our biggest Christian ladies have a Bible study every single Thursday where they go over stuff. They do prayer requests. They do prayer time with the people. And so we are filled with a lot of Christians here, and we absolutely love that. And so, and we're not ashamed to say that. So that's another thing that we offer our community is prayer, hope, and love. And this is truly a family. And in fact, it's bringing tears to my eyes because it really is a family. It really is
Yeah.
like, a second family to me. I love each and every one of the members that are in this community. I pray. I, you know, I can't, I feel so blessed. I really do truly feel so blessed. So.
So you're telling us about all these things that members get, and that's how much does it cost to be a member?
$199 setup and $25 a month. That's it. And as we add new stuff, you get access to all that new stuff without ever having to pay anything but your $25 membership fee. So, I mean, I don't know where you're going to get that value of $25 a month, have access to all of this stuff. I mean, it's pretty incredible. So it's a $199 setup fee one time, and then you have access to all of this as long as you continue your $25 membership. You get to stay in the academy and have all of that extra stuff.
Basically, you write 5 or 6 letters a month and you've got your membership paid for. And when we say letters, it's 2 or 3 sentences on
Yeah.
a 4x6 card. It's not a letter. And it's
No,
not like you're being creative. You're literally copying exactly what is there in the training. So Lisa, thank you so much. I mean, the value you provide is just incredible. I love the training. It's so simple. It's step by step by step. And, particularly with the paid per letter, as you said, everyone makes money if they actually write a letter, right?
yep, they
Everyone's going to
only
make
have to
money.
write. They only
So
have to write exactly what we teach them. It is when I wrote the program, I made sure that my mom's a fifth grade teacher. And so, are you smarter than a fifth grader was kind of like my idea as I was writing it. I was like, okay, how can I make this like where a fifth grader could do it? And so when I was writing it out, I had my mom reviewing it and I'm like, Mom, would you be able to do this? Would your students be able to do this? And she's like, yeah, that's pretty detailed on what you're giving them. There is no room for error. When it comes to how I built it out, I made sure that you had every single directive right there for you. You simply have to follow it.
absolutely. Lisa, thank you so much. Thank you for spending the time with us today. I so appreciate it. And I so appreciate what you've created with SendIt Academy.
Thank you so much for having me. I love, like I said, doing these calls. And as you can see, I'm very passionate about what we have here. I know the value. God has blessed me, and He's constantly putting little things, a little birdie in my ear, whispering stuff. Hey, how about this one? How about this one? So He's constantly planning ideas on how to help others. That's all we've ever wanted to do. It was always our goal from the minute I talked to Dustin was, how can we help other people succeed? Because when we bless others, they bless us. And so it's just been a true blessing. So
Yes. Thank you so much.